Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. And welcome back to the show. We are so excited to have Lucia Arden here joining us today. Again, we're talking about God, Love Matters Most. As a best-selling author, as a woman who's here helping America with their freedom and so much more. She's a consultant. She's an advocate for the restoration and freedom of USA and world and ecosystems, and also a singer, songwriter, you name it, she does it. And it's all about the children. And she made this video clip in particular. She was actually on a plane in California, I believe. So let's take a listen, and then we'll get to meet Lisa in just a moment.
See, the morale of the people need to be lifted up. And I saw that the children, they need to be able to be taught, about the purity essence of the ecosystem. And they're all understanding this is very important. The children are the future. There's one divine message I had recently to put this in. Children are the future. The children have to use their enemy as their footstool. And that means that we have to teach the children. If we teach the children ethics, when something comes up that they know is wrong, they'll be able to prove that it's wrong. Prove that it's wrong. This way is better. And that's what we need to bring to our children, whether we're a believer or not. Because I know a lot of those atheists and those very highly intelligent people, many that are gay, that are highly intelligent, successful, they want to do the best they can in their own life. And they would understand this. And innately, people are searching, and I told you this before, for curiosity of life. And innately, when they're doing that, actually they're searching for God, their creator. But there is evil. There is evil. There's darkness, and we have to recognize that things are not right all the time. There is bad and good, and this is what we need to teach the children. We have to teach them absolute. 2 + 2 is 4, and that's why we can't have this woke system. And so this all relates. A country is just not one part, just about military. It's just not one part about choosing to be democratic, socialistic, or trying to be that way. It's a country that's healthy, has many aspects that need to be balanced. And now, as I told you, I'll repeat, because there's other world powers. There's other of China, Russia, and Iran, other secret nations, and even within our country, secret people and people that are even blatant, the communists. We have all these new variables coming in. So when you have new variables coming in anything, in science, you have to make changes that are just. And sometimes we don't know the best way. And that's why we can't allow the World Health to control all our ideas about the pandemic. Most of those people don't have experience in pandemics. How many pandemics have we had? That's why we have to have just people that have experience in conservative ideas that protect children and protect the individual's choice, but at the same time protect the health. And we know by the history, a lot of these injections and vaccinations were made in a very cruel and unjust way. And I have to find that information, history on vaccinations. But I already knew. I told way on that the vaccination was made in the lab. Okay, it was made in the lab, and I already saw. I said that just a couple weeks after they knew that there was a virus. But whether I know it or not, early on, we need to make proper decisions. And that's why the vaccinations cause infertility, because they even made the vaccinations to kill the people. Don't you get it? Because they want to decrease population. And also the vaccination has a problem, because if it causes infertility, that means the CCP virus has some type of connection with decreasing population of, the egg and the sperm coming together of a development of a baby. And remember, I told you on the onset that when a baby, the egg and the sperm come together, to create a human being, there's so many reactions, and many of those reactions are already in existence of a person that's not trying to have a baby. So that means that those type of reactions they'll also be affected by the vaccination, because it's a similar reaction that these other people have when they're having a baby. It's so complex. It's a little bit difficult for you, but also that any just very simple thing for everybody. Disease always starts with inflammation of the cell. Virus or disease always starts with inflammation of the cell, and that's why they cause the CCP virus to have inflammation of the cell. But they caused the vaccination to do that. Don't you get it, brothers and sisters? They purposely did that. And I know I wanted to tell you, and it's not that I was trying to hide anything, but I was told that I need to go the backside of all this information over a period of years to show that I know about how to help solutions and how to think to create truth and justice for the best well-being of the people. But I have to say the most important thing is the abortion issue. And now I've been told I have to say that now because they'll listen more. Otherwise, if I started down just with the abortion issue first, which I did when I began my work, they would just put a blinder on their eyes, because I'm just a layperson with a little mustard seed, and I'm not well known by the lay people. And many people talk about that are Christian. Oh, she's just Christian, or she's just Catholic, or she's just Jewish, or Muslim, or Buddhist, or any religion that doesn't believe in doesn't believe in abortion. So that's why I have to say this is what's causing a lot of our trouble in America, that we are using the human for scientific laboratory tests, and also for secret peoples that use the cells for their own life to exist, because it's going to make them younger, they say. So you always look at the action. None of us is perfect. We're all sinner. I'm not judging. I'm just telling you what happened. But these are complexities where it shows how they use the human for their own ideas, their own human faultiness that's not a God-intended way. And if they don't believe in God, it's not a good well-being for the human existence, correct? And they don't give choice. They don't give a platform for the women or the men that are participating. They don't give a good enough platform to keep the babies, and they don't teach them about protection of sex at all. It's terrible. They use birth control. The birth control is abortion. And we have the highest abortion rate out of the world. First is China, then Russia, and then ourselves. And I know as a believer, and now I see with all great men, I saw it. There's many, many great minister men. Most of them are all men. I think like 99%. They're talking about it. And I wrote this a while back. But I'm glad they're speaking about it now. But that is one of the biggest problems we have that's causing our problem in America, because when we treat the baby inside a mother's womb in that way, it's gonna trickle down to all the things that we do in every way of life. So we use the human as any way that we want without making justice and well-being what it means to be human. I'll never forget, my professor says, we asked, what is it to be human? That's why I did a paper on dialectic sexualization with Pope Benedicto and Habermas. It's behind my first book, and I know it needs to be corrected, some of it. And I compared about the morality and immorality and how all this affects our United States. And I wrote this in 2012, brothers and sisters, that article. And when I brought it back, I got in big trouble. They tried to kill me, but I got away. I got away, and I got through many car accidents, actually. And I was able to get past it all these years. But I brought it all over and handed it to everybody. And I show the statistics, how our country was becoming very socialistic, communistic, and we'll lose our freedoms. And that was a while back, correct? That's in 2012. And it makes me take a deep swallow. And the thing is I believe that we need to we need to give the hope for the women that get pregnant, give them the access to keep their child, but teach them. And also the men have to be involved, to be responsible, to have a committed relationship, whether they're having a baby or not. And if they're not, don't want a baby, then they need to have protection of sex. Or they need to not have sex. Many people believe that until they're married or committed. So this is one of the main problems, I think, that's causing the sickness of our country, is because we're not respecting the basic
On behalf of
human
this Oakland-based
human.
award-winning flight crew in Southwest Airlines, we'd like to welcome you all to Phoenix.
Wow.
Oh,
Welcome
thank
to
you.
the show. Very
Thank you.
passionate words. Lucia Arden here joining us. Thank you so much for being here live today on the podcast. How are
Thank
you?
you. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you.
Wow.
Doing
Okay.
beautifully.
So, oh my
Thank you.
goodness. So, the work that you're doing for the children, please introduce yourself to everyone
My,
today.
my name is Lucia Arden, and I'm a lover of America that needs to have the blessing of the unconditional love of God to help, like each one of us. None of us have unconditional love, but we could have the breath of the Holy Spirit in us to carry on the truth of America. And I'm so grateful to be here today, and I'm here to discuss things that we know what's going on in the news, but I'm here to discuss about the children. The children are the most important thing in our country, the most important creation in our country. And I want to read from my book. My book is Arise to God's Truth. Arise to God's Truth. I wrote it in 2020, and I have another book, Our Need to Give to the World. And I'm going to be reading some passages today about America and about how we could help America. So we need to realize that America is a place for all peoples, and we need to realize America in the beginning was blessed by the Judeo-Christian ethics through the men and women that came from all different countries for freedom, but they respected the Judeo-Christian ethics. And I know I talk about that a lot, but Judeo-Christian ethic, I'll repeat, is really a development of all the closest truth of all nations, because Judeo-Christian ethics is the development of the Roman culture. And when Rome was in power, they were very generous in a way where they came to all different countries and found the most beautiful things in each country and accepted it. Wow. And integrated it. And so this is why I believe that we could bring justice through the Judeo-Christian ethics nation that we have, but we need to realize the definition of that. Really, it's a conglomeration of Buddhism, of the best truths, Muslim, the best truths, even paganism that has reflection of some truth.
Yeah. And
we have to realize this, but I want to say that we need healing in our country.
Yeah.
And we need to say that how can you be a part of the transformation, healing, and restoration of America? Prayer is the answer. Prayer is the answer. In the beginning, remember George Washington prayed on his knees? He prayed on his knees, okay? On his knees here, look at, Look at that. He prayed on his knees to save us from the British.
Yes.
So we can't deny that, correct? And we were saved from that. So now today we need to all pray. And there are angels, and not just me, many people have experienced now that we need to pray that the angels can help us. And for me, it's the Trinity and the angels together.
Yeah.
But we need to realize that I'm not bringing something that's my own theology or own ideology. These are proven facts. But I was told that everyone needs to pray and ask God to help us. So we need to prayer is the answer, whether you're Jew, Christian, Buddhist, Muslim, and all the religion and affiliation, and even atheists. God has called us of all of America. We need to answer his call, God's call for America. Okay, and we need to do this, and then we need to realize that we could correct these informations that are incorrect. For example, I want you to look him up, and you probably know better than I. Chip Roy, he spoke in the Congress, and he talked about various things as taxes, border, world health, and other things such as the CCP virus, the gas, the business. And so we discuss this, and I know I'm bringing both things. I'm bringing belief system and politics, but politics is supposed to be justice. The foundation is supposed to be justice, and that's what our Constitution is based on.
Yeah.
And so the thing is we need to realize that the taxes have a direct relationship to the children, okay? Because it's going to protect them whether or not they're able to carry on for the future. And let me read another excerpt that the taxes, and we know, as Chip Roy said, that the taxes, government, we don't want government spending. We want the government to serve the people, and we serve the people in the right way, but not government spending. We want to take away government spending. They don't know what's the best for the people because they don't have experience of giving jobs. The billionaires have experience of giving jobs, and they should be the ones to choose where they want to put their taxes and where they want to build our country, and not spend it on various things such as woke system and green deals and monies for Mexico for protection of the borders, when we need to protect the borders right away, and we need to protect the borders right away. That's another point. So taxes, we talked about the taxes, okay? That we need to realize that that I ask you to ensure that humanity is served by the wealth and not ruled by it. And that's Pope Francis. And I know there's some problems. People say he did this and he did that, but we need to take the good things that he said, okay? And yes, we want a government that serves the people and not a government that controls the people. Even Pope Francis says that, okay? And we need to realize that another point is very important is the borders need to be protected. I went to the airport, and the people, we have to go through or protect our suitcases, see if we have any drugs or any bombs or anything like that. But it's contraindication because we're not protecting the borders. And I already discussed about the borders. The borders, China could come with nuclear. The phenolphthalein comes in, the bad business. We need to build those walls right away, or some technology that protects those borders now for the children. It has a direct relationship. Every 10 people will be affected by this if we don't take care of it. Then there's the gas. The gas, we have that natural gas. We could build those big tanks to transfer it over to the other countries, Europe, so we could give a better price. They says it's going to take 3 years to build those tanks to transfer it over, so Russia doesn't get all the money for making the gas. We could do that. They said 3 years. I'm sure we could do it at 1.5 if we speed up. And even if it takes 3 years, we could do it. And we should be able to do that and use our own gas. And then we also could use nuclear in a low level. I have a brother-in-law, a nephew, that he was a famous in Saudi Arabia professor, and he talked about the nuclear. I won't name his name. He taught me a lot about that. We need nuclear. Even when my own family tells me, even though they don't believe everything I say, now I think they're waking up now to see. And he told me about that. We need to develop our CO to do the nuclear development to use for energy. China has made 1,100 military airplanes in just a matter of a year or whatever to combat us. Okay, then the other is the CCP virus. As I told you, we can overcome this. We can overcome this through the power of faith and prayer. Like Moses, Moses, he kept on praying to God. And this is not my ideology, this is true. And this is a Jewish culture too. Okay. And so he prayed and prayed, because I'm like a Moses. And so are you. The freedom fighters are like Moses. We need to pray and pray that we are released from the slavery and bondage of any trickery or communism or socialism or bringing our country down. And there's other points that we need to let parents make their choice about the children, about education of the children. They're having a big event in Texas about parental decisions or own decisions. You can look that up online.
Did we lose you? Hold on 1 second. Lisa, I think we may have lost your audio. There you are. You're back. Lisa Lucia Arden, still here. Go ahead.
So we only, so then we need to realize that I only have so much time left. We only realize that we have to do this through the Spirit of God's love in us, the Spirit of God's love in us, and that in our faithfulness in loving God first, we will know how to love our neighbor better. And we all could change, because Nebuchadnezzar in Daniel 4, he changed. Read that. Yeah. He changed. Otherwise, we could destroy ourselves if we don't seek first righteousness and honesty about what America is about. But let's read this.
Please go ahead.
Yes, and I believe that his power and his might through the right arm of his strength. And I'm sorry, I got so excited. I was standing there. I'm sitting and I'm up again.
That's okay. You are passionate, clearly.
The spirit of the Lord promises his power, his mighty hand, and the overstretched right arm is with you. Jeremiah 27:3. So we as Americans, we have to awake. We have to awake to the truth of what is true about America that we can't deny. Okay, and I'm concerned because God, he could retaliate like he did with all the different things when Moses begged to let his people go free. There was different things that happened that God put on the land. But I know God is so he's a sovereign God. But remember, the reason why he allows this is for many reasons. He wants the people to reason why he allows these problems is that he is a sovereign God, but some of the things he can't keep on pouring good on evil. So some of it has to be cleansing. Others, people have to be a cross for others. There's many, that's a very complex theological answer and question about why God allows this. But we could never know exactly why. But one of the main reasons, we have to participate in the redemption of truth. And so truth, the closest truth is in God, not the government's ideas. The government can't control what truth is. That's what Chip Roy brought that point out. The government can't control. Truth is in God. Truth is in God and God's intentions. And when we put God first, we could find that truth. And I wanted to say that we need to realize that we can come in together in unity, and we could overcome the world. But the one who is Jesus is the Son of God. Through him we overcome. That's what I believe. I believe this. That I just happen to be Christian, and I've had experience. But Jesus says that when you believe in his works, he'll profess you to the Father. Okay? And that means that you have acceptance. You have acceptance. And not only that, the angels take the messages up to the throne. There's many passages, okay, about where the angels take the message up to the throne and they're watching. They're coming down, up and down, up and down, up and down. I really appreciate this, you allowing me to speak. And I believe that if we pray and we ask God to direct us, we could have unity, restoration, and peace in our country.
Wow. Lisa, you are on a roll. We're almost out of time. Let me find out. Okay, I know you are really passionate about what you're doing, but I have to know this. For those listeners out there, how can we reach you to reach out to you? I can give them the website, lisaluciaarden.com, spelled Lucia, Lisa, LuciaArden.com. We can find out more about this Urgent Protect USA. And again, the Arise to God's Truth, Restore and Keep America's Freedom, which is what you're all about. And what is the title of your book?
My book is Arise to God's Truth.
Okay.
Arise to God's Truth. This is one of them. And also Our Need to Give to the World. And this picture right here, I'm praying. The light came down of the angels. I didn't put that light down. I didn't put that. That's just a picture that I took from the phone. I took a picture from the phone, and the angel of God is with us, just like the angel of God was with George Washington. Okay, he is with us. We just have to ask, and we have to ask. And we need to be strong and loving and caring. We need to come together in love.
Excuse me. Ah, wow. Very passionate. So we could purchase this on Amazon, which is great news. And go ahead, sing it for us, because we're out of time.
Let us put the children first, so they could be that beauty that God has made them to be. Put the children first. Put the children first.
Beautiful.
First. They got those tender men of America in the world, and those tender women of America in the world, to bring the Spirit of God in our land and our hearts. For the children first, for the children first.
Beautiful. Oh, amazing. Thank you so much. So again, to reach out, Arise to God's Truth on Amazon. Again, and you can find her on her website, Lisa Lucia Arden. And I want to thank you today for being here, for bringing awareness to all of this. And do we have another session scheduled? Are we talking again next week?
Yes, we are.
Beautiful. So looking forward to it. Thank you so much. Amazing. A great voice too. God bless you too. Thank you so much.
Bless you.
Have a fantastic day. And to all of our listeners and viewers, stay tuned. More of the show is on the way.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.